Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Camp Briteside, the Eagle Nation Coaches Show, live here tonight on the SHN Sports Network, and the first one of the season. It's fun to be here. The Georgetown Eagles got underway in district play last night, I think convincingly, 53-0 overall between your freshman, JV, and varsity teams last night, and a victory over Conley. So they all start district 1-0, and we'll go into action tomorrow night. The JV and freshmen will be at home at Georgetown. Georgetown will be on the road at 7 p.m. at Conley High School tomorrow night for Game 2 of this two-game series between each of the teams in district. And the format this year, in the last couple of years, I love it. You play the same team twice in a week. You see all their pitching staff. You've got to see a team that's going to have to compete against you with all their teams, all their players, and to see you can't have that one arm stacked against the team every time through the run through district. And so it changes the aspect of it, and it gets you into a cycle, getting ready for the playoffs as teams will make their run. And Georgetown did a good job last night starting that run. A 10-0 win for the varsity at home in front of a good crowd there last night against Conley. And I think first and foremost, we'll get to talk to one of the players that had a great night last night, Hagen Tate. A great pitching performance on the mound, a complete game, 5 innings with 11 strikeouts. And so a good way to start the season. You beat up on the teams you're supposed to beat up on and get ready for the teams that are going to be your challenge.
Yeah, they definitely took advantage of a lot of mistakes by Conley last night and did the run roll in the 5th inning. So that was a good way to start off the district home opener.
26-0, I believe it was. Freshman won over Conley. Then that game got called short due to the weather, so JV could start on time. And so they proceeded to make it a 17-0 win over Conley. And Georgetown varsity over at Georgetown High School completed the shutout sweep of Conley in Game 1. And so let's just take a quick timeout just so we can get the man, the myth, the legend, Coach Jordon Vierra will join us next live here on the Eagle Nation Coaches Show live from Camp Briteside. Stay with us.
Yeah. I'm the big homie. For those of y'all that don't know me, one and only, name another rapper this Cody. Can't show me these down bad rap phonies. Take a pic to Ricky Bobby shaking bake Brody. Pin rolling, never sleep, I just keep going. Hit my peak now, I just started.
We'll go back. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Glad you caught that. So we'll start back over because I was muted the whole time. So if you're watching online, enjoy that one, Jimmy Warren. I got nervous. Jimmy showed up tonight, so representing the football program. We're back live, Camp Briteside. Coach, you intentionally schedule 2 tournaments, tough away from home. The first tournament usually gets played here at Georgetown, several host sites in the First Pitch Classic. But then to Smithson Valley and then up into the Rockwall area and playing 2 tough tournaments. Some great competition for this team coming into the district season. Not the record you want, but a lot learned in that against some great competition like Prosper, top in the state, the Rockwall schools, both good programs traditionally. Talk about that and what that did to help prepare this Eagle baseball team for the run through district now.
Yeah, one of the big messages that we constantly have on a regular basis, especially with the varsity group, is we play 4 seasons inside of our season. We have a scrimmage season. We have a tournament season. We have a district season and a playoff season. And the purpose of the tournament season and the scrimmage season is to get ready for district. We're not looking at what our record is at the end of the tournament play. We're trying to get ready to rock and roll for district play. And so we have the thought and the theory that, when we go through the tournaments, we want to schedule the best competition that we can for those 3 weeks. We host one of the biggest tournaments with some of the best teams across the state of Texas come in during that first weekend tournament. Unfortunately, it got iced out this year, frozen out. So we weren't able to play that one. But then we were able to go to San Antonio and play some top-notch teams down there, and then able to go up to the Dallas area and play some of the top teams up there. We start looking at our schedule towards the end of the tournament season, what that is, what that looks like for the rankings and things like that. And if you look at the rankings, we played 6 top 25 teams. 5 of those were top 25 6A teams. One of those was a 5A team. And so, you look at the different contests between scrimmages and tournaments, and we fared well and competed well in those areas. And then obviously you want to schedule the best competition, because at the end of the day you got to go play against the best if you want to go dogpile at Dell Diamond. So we're just always looking for that opportunity to go compete against the best and figure out what type of club you got, and how can we handle adversity, how can we handle struggle, how can we handle playing against some of the quote unquote best around, and see how we measure up. And the record may not reflect that perfectly. But at the end of the day, we lost 3 one-run games to powerhouse teams, teams that compete at a state level very often.
How does that help this team now coming back into district, knowing you've played that kind of competition and not letting that affect you, and keep the positive energy going through this team, and not let you tend to look at that record and immediately go, man, we're having a down year. It's used to prepare for the run through district to get ready for the playoffs. How do you keep that positiveness running through this team and get them ready, and not look at the schedule, not look at the record, and know, hey, what's important is in front of us now?
Yeah, February is irrelevant. And that's what we always talk about. The wins that you earn in February, they get you nowhere. They do nothing for you other than make you feel good. The wins that matter are March and April. And so, when you have a focus of, March and April is what's important, and then you get hot rolling into May, that's what we're trying to do. The district schedule is obviously March and April, and then towards the end of April headed into May is when the playoffs start to kick off, and that's the only time that really matters of when you win or lose and what that looks like. So our objective is never to go undefeated during tournament play. And in fact, we want to experience that adversity. We want to see how we can bounce back from a loss, how we can bounce back from a win, how we can do those types of things. And, our guys have responded very well.
This district this year, just a little bit of a change. We lose Bastrop and Cedar Creek, which not in the sense of the teams, but in sense of the travel down to Bastrop and Cedar Creek. I can't complain about that. We pick up a team that came back from 6A down to 5A in the Weiss Wolves. Talk about this district and what we expect. They came in out of that non-district season, top of the district with the best record. But what do we look at? We know what we expect out of Eastview. They've got a good pitching staff. Some players coming back, and Mason Pullen, Asher Kirchhoff that we'll see on the mound. I'm sure one of our 2 games against them. But what do we look for in this district? I know Pflugerville, Elgin have turned things around and are rebuilding and getting better and better. Yep. How does this district look, and what do we look for to see through the district run?
Yeah, every night there's going to be some sort of competition for what it's going to look like. I don't think we look at our schedule and go, yeah, we're for sure going to go 14-0 through this thing. It's not something that we're overly stressed about. It's something that we understand that we're going to have to show up and we're going to have to compete every night. You got a good Eastview club. It's coached really well by Coach Pullen over there, and he does a fantastic job of getting those guys ready. You got a good coach and Coach Bourgeois over at Elgin, who he's constantly competitive and is going to have his guys ready to rock and roll. And so, you're going to get everybody's best every night. We've talked about it for 4 years now of, the G's the target, and everybody wants to come get a piece of it. And that you're going to get everybody's best when that happens and you toe the field. So, it's going to be a super competitive time. We're excited about what the district schedule is ultimately going to look like.
Tell you what, showed up at the facility last night, and I could have swore it was AstroTurf out in the outfield. It looked like this out here, and hats off to – I saw little improvements here and there around the facility, but the work that has gone in, talking to you before the game, the work that you do and the staff does to get this field ready and the facilities ready is when teams come to Georgetown, that's got to be pretty intimidating. But talk to us about, you watch the pregame routine, and you've got some new faces this year, which they did this thing, probably to have a similar routine in JV and freshmen, but from an outsider not understanding baseball very much, is that something that you drill and practice so that when game day comes, hey, everybody knows, hey, you guys run out, you get the flags when we're done. There's a routine and everybody has a job. Talk to us kind of a little bit about that.
Yeah, so first and foremost, we'll talk about the facility. Our parents and our booster club does an incredible job of supplying us with the things that are necessary, the things that are needed. They want our facility to constantly be the top notch of what it is, and they've been incredibly gracious with their time and with their money to make sure that our facility continues to be one of the top in the area. And so it doesn't continue to be that without them. So that's a big portion of that. To go to the routine piece, one thing that we put a lot of stock in is the routine of what's expected, how we go about it. We time our pregame stuff to the minute of what we're going to do, and the expectation is that when we're supposed to start, we start. When we're supposed to move on, we move on. The timeliness of practice is something that we're routinely working on, of trying to stay on time with practice and making sure that everything is done in fashion and is done in that order. And then at the very end of the day, we have an incredible group of kids when the game's over that we say, hey, here are the jobs that need to be completed. And they take it upon themselves to dole out the responsibilities and make sure it gets done. Very fortunate that we don't have to assign very specific jobs of you do this, you do this, you do this. We have a group of guys that has really bought into the fact that leaders are servants first. And so they've done a very good job of leading as servants and making sure that everything is done that is required to be done. To make sure that those things happen. And then, when you have the routine of guys that have been here before or guys that have been a part of the varsity program for a couple of years of what the expectations are, as well as the freshmen and the JV. Freshmen do a good job of setting up for the doubleheader that they get to be a part of, and JV does a great job of tearing it down after games are over. And so that kind of mentality of, hey, this is our ballpark, this is a facility that we are blessed with, that we get to use every day. It's also going to be our responsibility to make sure it's taken care of.
Something you talk about the buy-in as we start out this new season here in 2025. Talk about that buy-in that you got certain rules in this program and on this team, and getting the buy-in from these players. The uniforms. When the uniform is worn, everyone's matching, be it the pant length if it's at knee high or if it's down to the shoe tops. Everyone clean shaven. The ball's numbered at practice and are accounted for at the end of each practice most of the times. And I think it was 182 somethings the other day. A couple of balls missing.
What was the number today? Yeah, they owed 134 somethings today.
So in that, to get that buy-in for precision, for attention to detail, how hard is that, but how easy is it once you get those seniors leading that way to get the freshmen brought into that fold, the JV players used to it for 1 year and now becoming the leaders of the future of the program? How big is it to get that buy-in and that commitment from each of these players?
It's huge. You're only able to do what you can with what you have. And our guys have constantly raised the level of where they're supposed to be in order to meet expectations. One thing that we're very fortunate to have is a coaching staff that is willing to not lower standards to meet where expectations are supposed to be, of where expectations are perceived to be, I guess is a better way to say it. But they do a great job of recognizing that the standard is this, and you're going to meet the standard for where it needs to be. We've done a lot of work with these guys, especially the varsity group, of talking about leadership and the clubhouse and the culture and what is expected and how it's expected, and what those things are supposed to look like. We just finished a book called "You Win in the Locker Room First." That we went through as a club through the first couple weeks of the season, that kind of outlines the 7 C's of what a good team should have. And it's very eye-opening to see the perspective of high school student athletes about what they think and how they process the information and how they share that information with each other. And what's been really cool to see is the growth of the team as people during that time, as well as watching the amount of leadership inside the clubhouse raise with the different guys that are around. So, we got a group of guys that buys in and expects to do great things and wants to continue to rise to that occasion.
So there was a little wrinkle last night that Wally was waiting to see if I would notice it, but Coach Payne on the third base. Is that's not like something?
No,
we can talk about that.
No,
right?
yeah, for sure.
Did the UIL bench you?
No, I haven't been relegated to the dugout yet. It was something that we've been talking about quite a bit, and with the amount of youth that we have on our roster this year, we got a bunch of guys back. But one thing that we were discussing was not a ton of quote unquote experience back. We don't have a ton of innings from last year that are back. And so one thing that we were talking through was, man, there's a lot of times in the course of a game where there's little things here and there throughout the course of it where me being in the third base box, I'm not able to get out very quickly, where I'm focused on giving signs and talking to base runners and then being able to turn around and say something to the dugout. There's a lot of multitasking that's happening. And so one thing that we started kicking around during the scrimmage season was, what if I just hang out in the dugout? And I'm still able to give signs from the dugout. I trust Coach Payne. He's got 30-something years of experience and 20-something of those as a head coach. So he's used to being in the third base box and sending guys and holding guys in other situations. He's a guy that I fully trust over there. And you got Coach Durrell on first base that fully understands the dynamics of the run game of what we're trying to do there offensively. And so it having the staff that we have allowed me to be able to kind of take a step back and stay in the dugout and be able to call signs to the dugout and just be able to relay different things.
It gives you a 30,000-foot viewpoint.
Yeah.
And Coach Payne can focus on the runners. That's his job along with Durrell, and you can manage the whole process.
Right.
And
so it's been relaxing isn't the correct word, but being able to kind of take a step back and be able to see more of what's happening and have a better pulse in the dugout and be able to communicate things at a much more rapid pace.
I want to hear more crows.
Right.
There were a ton of them.
I felt like I was at the deer lease in East Texas hearing all these crows everywhere.
Man, we got a couple of them that don't leave the ballpark.
Genius. And Bachman was in the running for MVP until the umpire turned around. And
Bachman rose to the occasion last night.
Yeah.
For those that were in attendance, we had some early on technical difficulties of experiencing things. And Jake Bachman, our trusted Bach, he stepped up big time last night and did a phenomenal job of stepping into an absolute storm and making sure that the storm was since quelled. So he did a great job. Only had one minor miscue. But outside of that and accidentally hitting a space bar with a hat, we did a great job.
I loved all the music in between and stuff because it gives it that vibe at the stadium. Just that's our home field. Let's have some fun.
He did very well.
And he never misses a beat. It's the manager Jared Frimmel getting the crowd going between innings, delivering the baseballs. Just back at home, getting the season going. It was fun last night, and especially when you get a 10-0 win at home to open up the district season. Let's take a quick timeout. We'll get rid of Coach Vierra for now. We'll bring you back at the end. And then we'll move into our players of the week. We've got our freshman of the week. It's going to be Landon Patterson. Then we have our JV player of the week. You might know his name. It's Caleb McDougal. And then two of the varsity players will join us in Hagen Tate and Luke Holly. And so we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have Landon Patterson, the freshman, join us here live on the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. Stay with us live from Camp Briteside. Back here live, Camp Briteside, joined now by number 7. Is that correct?
Yes,
because
sir.
I know jerseys change it sometimes. Number 7 on the freshman baseball team, it's Landon Patterson, our freshman highlighted player here of the week. And I did some searching on the old Game Changer and looking at stats. And a couple of times in the mound, starting the game, 6 innings pitched, 1-0 record. Has only given up 1 hit in those 6 innings, 2 runs, 1 of them earned. It's an ERA of 1.167, 5 strikeouts, and a batting average against of .067 of his opponents. And so opportunities there on the mound for this freshman team. And Landon, thanks for joining us tonight. How much fun are you having? It's the first time for you at the high school level, and to make the freshman team first off, and to get to wear that G that people talk about, that the program is the history of the program and the target that becomes that G to other opponents around. How much fun are you having in your freshman year?
I'm having a lot of fun. I'm glad that I get to be here. I like having fun with my friends and being out on the field.
You guys are competing and starting to kind of come together, get to know each other. How much fun was last night, the first district ball game for you guys at the high school level? You're on the road and then put up a 26-run win over Conley. How much fun was that one?
That was a lot of fun, except we got the rain delay, and we had to stop early.
So it rained over there?
Yeah. No, it didn't rain. It was a lightning delay. Sorry.
Okay. They all got delayed over there. It's funny. Storms were out in Hutto and Taylor, but nothing at the high school other than the lightning strike, which delayed us. That delayed you guys, so you guys had to call it quits early. How many innings did y'all get to this 26-0 lead?
2 innings.
Wow. Friday, are y'all looking forward to Friday? It's going to be at home. It's your first home game. How big is that for you guys? As a freshman class, you guys, you're brand new to the program, to learning the systems, the requirements, the expectations in this from the coaching staff. Coach Key running the freshman team this year. How excited are you guys for a Friday night home game to open up the district play at home?
Very excited. I'm glad we got to be here and play at home.
How long have you been at Georgetown in the sense of in the Georgetown School District?
Oh, all my life.
All his life. Landon Patterson, how old are you?
15.
Okay, so I can't ask that one game changer.
How long you been playing ball? Did you start with GYBA and come up?
Yes,
and
sir.
You play summer ball and all that?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Who do you play with in the offseason?
Lone Star.
Lone Star Baseball, one of the two I know that we hear a lot of around. In the one game of your 2 starts against the Glenn JV2 on March 6th, I thought it was pretty cool. Pitched 4 innings, allowed no hits, no runs, only walked 1, struck out 4, got the win there. When you're on the mound, how locked in are you, and how much fun are you having knowing the coach says, hey, it's your time, the ball's in your hand, go lead our team?
I have a lot of fun out there, very, very locked in. I like that I get to go face a bunch of batters.
Outside of pitching, what's a position we would find Landon Patterson playing?
Catcher.
Just involved in every play of the game. That's pretty good. So now, you guys, how many catchers do you guys have on the freshman team? Do y'all take turns platooning, or if you're not on the mound, you're behind the plate? What's that look like so far in the season?
Yes, sir. We have 3 catchers on the freshman team. We all rotate innings.
Very good. Very good. So now, a new segment we're going to add in each of the interviews this year is a 5-question rapid fire to each of the players. None of the questions will be the same from each of the 4 players. They don't know what the questions are. Some will pertain to the varsity players that we'll keep there. Some will pertain to someone that's not driving, so that may be a hint. So we're going to ask 5 questions. Quick answer on it, just to help us learn more about Landon Patterson. What is your favorite cereal?
Frosted Flakes.
Frosted Flakes. Nickname your parents used to call you?
LP. LJP.
LJP. Are tomatoes a fruit or a vegetable? And it can be to you. It doesn't have to be the technical answer.
Vegetable?
Do you like tomatoes?
No.
Okay, good answer. Your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
And why?
Presents.
Exactly, good answer. What sound does a seal make?
R.
I need one of them to make the seal noise for us. But Landon held off. He won't do it. In school right now, your freshman year, what's your favorite class going on outside of recess, lunch period, and baseball? It can't be baseball. One educational class. What's your favorite subject?
Probably human geo because of the teacher.
Who's
Miss
the
Jackson.
teacher?
Miss Jackson.
Ms. Jackson, human geography. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So, very good answer. Man, the first one. If we don't find you at the baseball field during the summer, winter, spring, fall, and you had a week off, what do you do for fun? Is it hunting? Is it playing video games? Where will we find you relaxing and just enjoying life?
Fishing, hunting, playing some Xbox.
A little bit of everything. Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox.
Xbox.
What game?
Rainbow Six Siege.
All right.
Very good answers. Very good answers. Landon Patterson, your freshman player of the week, number 7 on your freshman team. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Congratulations on the
Thank
early
you.
success. Continue to have fun. And we'll take a quick time out when we come back. It's that guy that's been around a little bit in 2 different sports. It's Caleb McDougall. He'll join us next live here at Camp Briteside on the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. Stay with us. Got to stop hitting the mute buttons. It's on me again. Sorry, Jordan. Hey, we're back with Caleb McDougall. Tonight is Pete and repeat night. Sorry.
Kelly's not going to feel bad at all.
No,
he's going to be like, yes.
At least I have someone telling me that the mute buttons are still on. Tell your mom thank you, because at least I know someone's watching and they're correcting our mistakes. So thank you. I owe her big time. In your sophomore year here at the JV, you guys, I know some of the scrimmages, heard some chatter that things just weren't coming together. Didn't seem like it. And now all of a sudden, you and I talked the other night, it seems like this roster is kind of figured out the pieces and now running at 10-0, sweeping 2 big tournaments. Some good competition there. Some 6A schools you guys played in Round Rock and Stony Point and bigger schools and winning the ways. And then last night a 17-0 win to start the district season. How much fun is that? I know you spent quite a bit of time in the suit back behind the plate.
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's good. It's a lot of fun being out there with everybody, and good to be back with people my age, even though I've been up with people. And it's good to see everybody again and get back in the rhythm.
Football, then baseball. How do you stay, one, energized, not get worn out, not wear out the shoulder, and not hurt the arm? How much time are you spending to take care of your body and the mindset to not get burnt out and all the workouts and all the activities, all the practices to be able to continue to compete at a good level?
Well, physically with my arm, I've been going treatments lately every morning and trying to keep that fresh. Definitely want to play next year, so be ready with that. And then mentally just knowing that baseball is fun and football is really fun, and being able to be back on each field is really good for me.
Do Coach Griffin and Coach Vierra, they stress nutrition and blend it in with all of the working out and all that stuff?
Yes, very much. And football is trying to get me to gain a ton of weight, so
yeah,
I'm at 155 on the field.
That's one of the things that I think Coach Dean years ago had talked about. Everybody's got the nice facilities, AstroTurf. Sometimes they even have the indoor facilities. He envisioned the next step would be nutrition. How can we feed them like they do at the college level?
Yeah.
So I was just curious about that.
And you talk to these players like Zach Mazik came back, visited at practice the other day and talking about, and you see all the size that he's put on at the D1 level at Baylor, now at Louisiana Tech. La Tech, unfortunately injured again, but the nutrition focus, attendance taken at the mills to be a part of that and make sure they took care of their bodies. And so, especially important when you're playing multiple sports and at a young age, being a sophomore, it is fun to see. At the plate, 364 batting average to start out the season. 8 hits, 4 RBIs, 4 runs. Typically, at the high school level, catchers get run for.
Yeah.
You lead the team with 12 stolen bases, so they don't run for you. How tired do you get by the end of the game?
We usually score pretty fast when I'm on the bases, so I kind of get back to the dugout, get some water, and then I'm pretty fresh by each inning. By the end, I like to go home and rest and be fresh for the next day.
When you get called out, you've appeared in 2 games in relief on the mound. How much fun do you enjoy being on the mound, getting out from behind the plate, and being from that part of controlling the ball game?
It's good. I like to be able to let somebody else get back there and take the pressure off my legs a little bit, and then love to be able to fill up the zone and take it to the other team. Speaking
of filling up the zone, in the 2 games that you've come in relief, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits allowed, 1 run, walked 1, struck out 5, a 0.00 ERA with a 182 batting average against. To say it seems to be working pretty good at filling up the zone and attacking the hitters. So now we've got to go to the rapid-fire questions as I look at your mom and dad. Nothing that will get him in trouble, I promise, tonight. All right, first question, favorite movie?
Major Pain.
Oh, man. We can stop there. That was a great answer. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Good answer. Favorite day of the week?
Friday night.
From 1 to 10, how hot do you like your shower water?
8.
That's pretty good answer. If the this is the key one. If the toilet paper roll is really low but not completely out, do you replace it or leave it for someone else?
Leave it for someone else.
That's what I'm talking about. There's the guy answer right there. Oh, someone else is going to get stranded. Sorry. Yeah, I don't have time. All right. Outside of sports, what's our favorite class we're studying this semester?
I like my law class a lot.
Who's the teacher of law?
Mr. Reinders.
Mr. Reinders. 2 good answers. Football, a bunch of your buddies were answering, I like coach's class. Yeah. I like to go to coach's class. So, very good.
We forgot shout-outs.
We did. I'll have to apologize to Atlantic because I did it last night to Coach as well. He didn't get to give a shout-out to Macy. I'm sorry, Macy. My bad. So, we know about your fun outside of it. How do you and what do you look to do this summer? Is it back into 7-on-7 once baseball ends?
Yeah, straight in 7-on-7, straight in summer workouts, get back ready to go for football season.
What does spring look like for you when spring ball starts, but yet with a commitment to baseball?
I'll probably be splitting time, going baseball game days and then taking mental reps. Probably 2 of the days I'm not at baseball, and then 1 of those days I'll be going full at it at football.
A lot of demand.
For us nerds, I like 7-on-7. A lot of the coaches, they don't care for it. But like are y'all, last year that didn't do the state tournament, that whole stuff, are y'all thinking about possibly doing that this year?
We definitely are doing it again.
Okay. And then how can the fans find out about that kind of schedule if they want to go watch some of the 7-on-7 stuff?
I'm sure.
Who's running it?
Coach Flo will post something on social media.
Okay, cool.
Not in the classroom, not on the baseball field or the football field. Where do we find you?
I'm going hunting.
Going hunting. When are we going hunting? September?
This weekend.
This weekend? What are you going hunting?
I'm going to go get a black buck.
There we go.
With Gavin.
Oh, okay.
Going with Gavin, but I'm still going.
Oh, okay. So Dad gets left at home. No dad this weekend.
Yeah.
Caleb McDougall, number 12 on your JV baseball team for your Georgetown Eagles. Thanks for joining us tonight. Any shout-outs before I let you go?
Shout out my family and shout out 10-0 JV baseball team.
JV baseball 10-0. Quick timeout. We come back. It's Luke Holly, the first varsity player of the week, joining us live here on the Eagle Nation Coaching Show. Stay with us. All right, we're unmuted and back live here at the Eagle Nation Coaching Show live. Camp Briteside, a huge shout out to Camp Briteside for hosting the Eagle Baseball Coaching Show live here each and every week. It'll be on different nights, so be prepared for that. Next week will be on Wednesday night because we'll play Eastview on Tuesday and on Thursday for the boys to have a weekend break there after the Thursday night ball game. And so we'll be back live here at Camp Briteside next Wednesday night. And so now we're joined by Luke Holly, one of our varsity baseball, varsity football, varsity everything athletes. Luke, thanks again for joining us. Love chatting with you. Me and you get to talk quite a bit, practices and everything when we see each other, and I've just enjoyed it. It's into the senior season of baseball. Football was successful. You guys had a great year. All the honors and accolades you earned. But first and foremost, congratulations. A commitment to play baseball at the next level. Talk about that and what the future looks like for Luke.
I mean, it's just an accomplishment of a lifelong dream. It's spent my entire life dreaming about playing at the collegiate level, and just, I don't know, it's really just a dream come true.
Playing football at the level that you did and being one of the big leaders on the defense this year, along with, so many big names that had some experience there on that varsity with you. And, man, you could go up and down that roster with Seth Warren and Cole Mitchell, and you could go down to the defensive line with Turbeville, and you can keep naming them all, Luke Butch and all of you guys. And then you turn around and have the success on the baseball field. What made you choose baseball over football?
I mean, I've played baseball my entire life. I kind of picked football up in middle school, kind of. It really started in high school. But I've played baseball my entire life. I've been watching it my entire life, and I just always found it to be, I don't know, a little, more challenging and a little bit more strategic almost, and I just find that a lot more fun.
We can go back to, before we even talk about the start of district play in your last year as a senior in the time at district and what we look forward to. Go back to this tournament up north, up in the Dallas area, a Grand Slam. That was a big hit. I'm watching Game Changer as I'm working, and it's 1-1 on the Game Changer, and I see Luke Holly comes up to bat, and then all of a sudden it's 5-1, and the bases are empty. And then to see the highlights posted up on Facebook by your mom, and talk about that and just the joy and the excitement when things seem to start to connect and get ready and get flowing for you guys and you especially. What went through your head as soon as the ball left the bat there?
I knew it off the bat. It feels great. We're gelling as a team really well, better than any other team I've ever been on. This team's really coming together really well. But yeah, right off the bat, I knew it. It felt really good, especially coming off the scrimmage season that I had. I knew it.
But how does that help you, though? Talking about that scrimmage season you have and now working on getting that batting average up, how does it help you with the experience that you have playing this game for such a long time, the confidence that you have in yourself and the work that you've put in? How does that help you continue to work now to just trust in that process that things are going to continue to get better for you and for this team?
Well, I just know what type of hitter I can be. I know what kind of results I can produce, and so I kept focusing on the process. That's one of the big things. One of the big things that we're focusing on this year as a team is focusing on the process. Let the result take care of itself. I just kept focusing on the process. I knew what I can do, and I just let my work and preparation. I let that take me to where I needed to go.
We were really hoping we could see the slide last night. Last night before the game had some downtime. I'm flipping through Facebook, and Amy, the best dental hygienist on the planet, sends a message to your mom and said, and there's a video of the slide. So I knew Wally was in the dugout, so I sent it to him real quick, and he showed it to you, I think. And
yes, sir.
We're really hoping to see that, but we'll look forward to it throughout the season. But Wally and I were commenting, it's neat to look out there and you're thinking, all right, these seniors, this is their last home opener at Eagle Field. What's that feel like?
It felt great to win it, that's for sure. I didn't really think about that too much while I was out there. I kind of just saw it as just another game because this first game is not the game I'm worried about.
Right.
We obviously have a big goal in mind, so we're just going to take it one step at a time.
Last night, some things that we saw against a team like Conley, it's an opportunity. You have a team that it carries a very small lineup compared to you guys, almost double in size. But some things occurred. Hagen Tate got an early visit from Coach Payne, settled things down. The defense seemed to continue to pick up Hagen last night. just making good plays behind him. Hagen Tate pitching a good game. Ground balls in the infield, a throw out from left field by Tate Ritchie at home plate to cut down a run to end an inning. How big is that for this defense to go and be a support system for this pitching staff when we see a lot of pitchers coming in that don't have a lot of innings? David Fluitt's an arm that we'll see quite a bit. That's that returning starter for this team. But outside of that, Hagen Tate, a big start last night. You'll see a different name on the mound several times. You could see a Cooper Thomas or a Braden Curtin at starting games. How big is it for this defense to figure out who they are and to be there to back up these pitching staff and let them just work knowing the defense is behind them to work?
Well, defense wins championships, and that's what we have really needed to focus on these past couple of weeks. When we play quality defense, there's not a team that we can't beat, and so that's really just been our main focus in practice recently, playing catch, moving the ball around well, and when we do that, there's honestly no team we can't compete with.
Talk to us about that. I don't know if you guys saw it. I did not. I saw it thanks to Mandy for posting it on Facebook, the catch. We got to talk about it because it's efforts like that you're going to see out of this team throughout the year. Talk about that catch you made in center field. The guy he unloads on it, hits it to the deepest part of the park. Talk about that catch when you saw it off the bat and what's going through your head. I just keep remembering the glove held up with the ball in it as he walked in, kind of like, yeah, you thought you had me, and you didn't. Talk about that catch and how much fun that was. It seems like you can be anywhere on this field. You can be at the infield, you can be in the outfield, you can be on the mound. How much fun was that in outfield and making a catch like that?
I love playing the outfield. Off the bat, I thought that was going to be off the wall and possibly over. But I saw it get up, and it just kind of caught up in the air, and I got underneath it, and I knew I was like, oh, I got a chance at this ball. Kind of stuck my glove out and landed in there. I mean, it was pretty much all reaction. There's not much you can do besides that.
It was an awesome catch to watch and to see. As you go through this season, how does that? What kind of confidence does that put in you and other teammates out here? You have Connor Young behind the plate last night. He can play second base. He can be on the mound. You're at second base last night while Connor Young's behind the plate. You can be in center field while Cooper Thomas may be pitching or in outfield. How big is that you guys are interchangeable as a whole with a lot of the players on this team to know that this defense can operate under any circumstance no matter who gets put on the mound?
I mean, we gave the coaches a tough job this year. We got a lot of guys that can play a lot of different positions and a lot of guys that can pitch. And so Payne is obviously ecstatic. He doesn't know what to do with how many pitchers we have. But, I mean, we just got a lot of guys that can go up there and throw strikes, and we got a lot of guys that can play multiple positions on the field, and that's huge when it comes to the depth chart.
How does that drive the competition amongst you guys during practice and in the scrimmages and in the tournaments when you're trying to figure out who's going to be what, where, when during the run through district? How much does that heighten that competition to make sure, hey, everybody, there's a lot of players that can play anywhere on this field. I want to make sure one of those positions has my name attached to it.
Yes, sir. It definitely brings another level of competition. I mean, your spot's never sealed, no matter whether you're a 4-year starter, senior, or like an incoming sophomore. There's no spot that's sealed on the team, and so we always try to bring our best energy to practice and our best effort so that we always prove that I'm the guy that deserves to be in the spot.
How much pressure do you feel as a senior this year now as being one of the leaders that's going to pass on the tradition of Georgetown baseball to the underclassmen, the juniors and the sophomores that will take over this program when you and your senior class have moved on?
Honestly, there's been no pressure at all. We've got a great squad. We've got a bunch of young guys who are willing to learn, and that makes it easy for leaders who got guys that want to become leaders. It makes it easy. You just get to set an example, and they follow, and they realize what it's like to be that way. And that's how it's been with a lot of the young guys, and it really helps.
Your final semester of high school, what's the class load look like for you here in this final semester?
I don't think I've had homework a single day.
That's pretty good. What classes are you taking here in the last semester?
Your basic classes, a stats class, econ, forensics.
Just your basic like top classes to get your degree. Now, when you head on to college, what's the field of study for you? Baseball, or is there a focus on the educational side as well for you?
There's definitely a big focus on the education, business, finance, just anything in that area.
Baseball continues where for you? For those that don't know, I get to follow you on Twitter and everything. Where will you be continuing baseball at?
Odessa Junior College.
Odessa Junior College. So not far away. Where all will they play? Where all will you be traveling around to play games there at Odessa?
They played a game at Tech. They played a game at Texas State. They had one more tournament at some bigger college, but they're kind of all over the place. They play a lot of mid-major D1s, a lot of Power 5 D1s, and then once they get settled in the season, they play a lot of other top JUCOs in the country.
As the semester winds down, your time at Georgetown winds down, what are you going to remember the most? What's going to be the best memory for you as you look to graduate?
This final run that we get to make.
A dog pile 16 miles from here.
Yes, sir.
Luke Holly, it's your senior baseball player. Wears number 6 in baseball. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
I have to keep him straight. McDougal helped me out. He stays with 12, but number 6 on your varsity. Yeah, I would say he's a second baseman or your center fielder, but he's just he'll be out there a lot. So look for him. Any shout-outs before I let you go? I've enjoyed getting to talk to you over the last few years, and so it's not over because once we get to playoffs, and you're going to be back up here. But any shout-outs before I let you out tonight?
I mean, just shout out Georgetown baseball and shout out my family.
Luke Colley, senior baseball player here on the Georgetown Eagle baseball team. A quick timeout. When we come back, it'll be Hagen Tate and joining us live here on the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. Stay with us. Back here live, Eagle Nation Coaches Show from Camp Briteside. Luke got off the hook. I forgot to the rapid fire questions. I had them written out for the others. I have them on my phone for the varsity because they have to be kept separate. But we're joined now by number 10. It is Hagen Tate, one of your pitchers on this Georgetown baseball team. And I tell you what, Hagen Tate, thanks for joining us. And when I was talking to Coach earlier in the week of who was going to join us this week, and then you go on the mound, start the district opener at home last night, and go 5 innings, strike out 11, hit 2 batters. Then, some people need to back off the plate a little bit. Only allowed 2 hits, which weren't really big hits. One leaked through the left side, which Tate Ritchie took care of the runner at home that tried to score. But a good outing there, a complete game, 5-inning complete game for you, and a win for Georgetown. How much fun did you have last night on the mound getting that first win of the district season?
It was fun. It was relaxing. It wasn't stressful. First inning was iffy back and forth, and then I found a groove, and I was just comfortable just flying through it.
We were wishing that we could have Coach Payne mic'd up, but obviously that's not going to happen. We were like, I wonder what he said to him, because it was a little bit of a difference after he walked off and, first district game at home, opener, maybe a little jitters, but, yeah, it lined out pretty quick.
How big is that in the first inning? 2 runners get on with 1 out there. Coach Payne comes out for a very quick visit, but it seems to get you settled back down. And then you have your defense step up. Connor Young with the back pick at first base, and then the strikeout of Scholes to end the inning, only facing 4 batters. Then you seem to lock it at a different level coming out in inning 2. Things just continue to get more and more under control. You finish the ball game, inning 4 and 5, striking out the side in both innings. In something like that, is it when you see Coach Payne come out of the dugout, is it a nervousness, or is it, hey, slow down, I know what he's coming to tell me, and I just need to refocus? What's going through your mind when he came out of the dugout last night, and how did that help and get you back on a different direction?
I look over and I see him walking. I'm just like, oh. It's kind of just like take a step back, relax a little bit. He comes out there. He doesn't say much. Hands me a rosin bag. Goes, all right, go. And then walks away. And usually, I don't even nothing new that I'm thinking. It's just a slowdown, and I naturally end up somehow finding it after that. And but sometimes it can be nerve-wracking. Sometimes it's like, all right, just slow down a little bit. But sometimes it helps.
How big is it for this pitching staff, for you guys, to have your defense stepping up and making plays like happened last night? The back pick by Connor there at first to catch the catcher off guard and get him picked off to get that second out. The throw out at home from Tate to catch Camareno Aguilera trying to score from second on a base hit to left field. How big is that for you guys as a pitching staff, for you to know, hey, it's okay, hit the zone, fill it up, let them make contact, knowing your defense is back there making plays for you?
It's huge. It's when you can see a hit go by you and you have trust, like it's a different thing than going back there and having just guessing the whole time. Seeing Connor make the back pick and we're already at 2 outs, it's like a little bit relieving. More, it's like I'm able to be in the zone without having to worry about if he bloops it, what's going to happen. This and threw the changeup and he hits it through. I was getting a little nervous. I run behind the plate and then I see Tate make a dime of a throw, and then Connor put the tag on him, and it's just momentum building, and it's really trust building with your teammates. Last night, a couple of times, Dave's able to go back and watch pitches, and there's some balls that were keeping Conley well off balance. You would go with the heat to first, and then when you would expect that you might see another fastball, here came a breaking ball. When you think you might see, oh, okay, he threw a 2-strike breaking ball last time. Now it's another high-speed fastball coming in at him. You seem to keep them off of balance, but that breaking ball seemed to be working really well last night. Connor Young keeping things in front of him, but getting people to chase on that. How well was everything working for you last night, and how big is that to build going forward in the district season for you? It's really good for me to have confidence in my pitches when I know, like, I can spot, I can locate, especially when I feel comfortable. I love throwing a changeup to a lefty. I love throwing a breaking ball. I like throwing it high and making them swing at something over their heads. It's huge. Knowing I can go forward and like continue doing that, and Coach Payne just knows when to call it, so he'll throw that in there. And yeah.
I don't know what that pitch was there at towards the end of the game, but it was nasty. I had to go back and watch it. I mean, we need to clip it because
like the eliminator.
The poor kid like tripped over the bat going for it. I mean, it was crazy.
In the precision that you guys come out, first part of the scrimmages, you guys throw fastballs only.
Yes, sir.
You guys get into this program with Coach Payne. How much trust do you guys as a staff have in Coach Payne, knowing his experience, his expertise in it, and then it allows you guys to get prepared and be ready come the full time in the season, the tournaments, to get ready to go? How comforting is that for you and this staff, knowing that you have a coach like that it can keep you guys on that level?
It's great. You can lean on Coach Payne. He's got more years in baseball than we do in our whole entire life being on earth. He knows what he's doing with it. You can heavily rely on it. Sometimes you sit there and you may not understand, but you can ask him. He'll tell you. The way he runs it is amazing. It's really good for arm health and for building up confidence in your pitches, and knowing that you have him as a good foundation is really comforting.
How did it feel to get the start on your senior year, home varsity, home opener for district? How good did that feel, and what was going through your mind when you took the mound for knowing it's your last season opener at home in district in your senior season?
It was really exciting. I didn't really think about it like that until about 5 minutes before the game started, and then I went out there. I was just working, and then when I came back in, I was like, really thought about how it is like a last opener kind of thing, and it was really cool to be able to take that spot and do that yesterday.
The senior class, you guys have been around this program for quite a while. As you get going into your final season of district play, as you guys now get on this run and this trying to achieve the goals that you guys as a team have in front of you, what's it like? What's it mean to you wearing the G for this one last season, and what's going to be your best and biggest memory that you hold with you when you leave Georgetown?
There's a ton of memories that I could say, but just through this program, like coming in freshman year, there's a couple things you might get confused about or upset with, but if you really do like look at it and lock in, like I've told one of the younger guys, if you do lock in, you'll realize it makes you a better person and a better player and better all this stuff. And just being able to have this one last season and wear it, it's I I'm not so much worried about when I was like, what are they going to think about this? What are they going to do this? Like, still now it's like you have a groove where you can follow the standard and execute your job and enjoy your senior season while balling your heart out. And it's just there's so much growth in this program through every single person you'll see. And it's either for you or it's not. But when it is for you, it's a really good thing to have.
As you guys, as senior class, impress and leave the legacy behind to the classes behind you, do you feel a pressure in that, or do you feel an honor in that and something that you've achieved as a senior and have an honor to pass on and to make sure that legacy continues?
I don't feel much pressure in it. It's pretty honoring to know that you can leave a legacy or a mark on some of the younger people and leave a little bit of a path, especially for the younger guys that are up on varsity with us now. Gives them an idea, and they can move that to guys in their own age group when they get up higher, and it's really cool to know that you can do that.
Did you grow up here in Georgetown?
I did, yes.
GYBA, all that?
I didn't play GYBA. Played actually in Cedar Park. I grew up in Cedar Park and Georgetown.
Yeah.
It's a whole back and forth. But I did grow up around here a lot.
Pretty much playing club ball, kind of coming
yes,
up and
sir.
stuff.
Yes, sir.
What is the future for Hagen Tate? What are you looking at doing after high school?
Right now, I really want to be a pilot. And I'm looking at a lot of schools, talking for baseball, just conversating with coaches, trying to figure out my set-in-stone plan, try something out for a little bit, and just see where I really want to go.
What's a senior, your last semester in high school, what's it like in your class load, and are you enjoying it?
I am enjoying it. It's teachers are a lot different than they were earlier years. They just kind of tell you to get your stuff done, and if you do it, you'll get a grade for it, and it'll be good. It's weird to think about knowing there's only 9 weeks left of school. It catches up on you because you're starting, and then second semester, and now you're 3/4 of the way through, and there's just a bunch of stuff to go on. Once baseball season's going through, it's going to get to the end, and it's just going to be looking back at like a blink. But that's something.
Trying to work in graduation in between the between all the games.
Yeah, exactly right. That's the goal every year. Make graduation have to be figured out around the baseball playoff run. Outside of baseball, if we don't find you on the field or in the gym working out, what do you do to relax, have fun, and refuel?
Probably playing golf.
Ooh, I like that answer. What's your favorite course around here?
Berry Creek and Terra Vista.
Very
Pretty
good.
good.
Very good answers. Berry Creek is fun. David Gonzalez, if you're listening, I would like to go to Berry Creek next week. Let's go get around in. Shout-outs before I let you get out here.
Mom and Dad for paying for everything on my way here.
There we go. Mom and Dad. Hagen Tate, number 10 on your Georgetown Eagle varsity baseball team.
Thank you.
We'll take it one more time out when we come back. We'll close it up with Dr. Coach Jordon Vierra will join us one more time before we wrap it up. Stay with us here at Camp Briteside. Back here live, Camp Briteside. Thanks to Camp Briteside, their staff, the ownership and management. Thank you so much for having us out here each and every week and giving us this awesome venue to bring you the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. And, Coach, a good week, a good start to the week. The week is ahead of us for the varsity and JV and freshmen. One thing we didn't talk about before that I wanted to bring about. You guys love in this program to play 3 games a week. One, the opportunity now to make up for 6 games lost in the First Pitch Classic, adding a game this Saturday at 1 p.m. at Marble Falls. how big of it? How big is that for this program, and how big is it to help prepare this team that when it comes to the playoffs, you've got to be ready to play 3 games every week, every series to continue to battle. And so, how big is that as you guys now start that process with the Friday night game tomorrow night at Conley, and then Saturday on the road at Marble Falls?
Yeah, it's for sure a double-edged sword. Your season is shortened a little bit at the front end, so you lose that tournament of being able to figure out who your team is, and so the amount of time that you get to figure out who those guys are and what that looks like and lineups and everything is shortened a little bit. But ultimately, once we get rolling in district play, it allows for us to pick up with that 3 games a week schedule, which is ultimately going to give us an opportunity to have that routine down heading into the playoffs. So. I like it. I enjoy it. I think the guys, they get a little bit worn down throughout the course of the year, but it puts them in that mindset. We're playing a whole lot, and contrary to popular belief, I think nobody enjoys practice. And so whenever you're able to play more than you have to practice, it obviously helps quite a bit.
One thing we don't want to leave out is that to talk about what happens on Saturday mornings at Georgetown High School. Does that continue this year with the program at 9 a.m. usually? Talk about that. And that these kids get to be a part of, one, and what an honor that is.
Yeah, so following spring break, I'd have to pull up the dates. I don't have them off the top of my head. We host what we call a challenger game with the Exceptional Georgetown Alliance, which is a group of parents and children who have special needs. And so we invite them out to the ballpark every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. To allow our young men to get to be hands-on and get to love on and serve these kids who do nothing but adore them, and so it's a great opportunity to expose our guys to that side of life, and it's a solid piece of perspective for what that is. We have an incredible community around us, and that's just another incredible way that we can give back. I think that what's the really cool part is now we have kids that have been a part of the Challenger game from the time that they were. Now it's since they were in probably 3rd grade, and now they're in high school. And so getting to see them over the course of the past 10 years grow and grow and grow, and now we get to see them in the hallways. It's pretty cool, and it's an incredible experience for our guys to be able to make those connections.
And the amount of smiles and excitement that goes on that field at 9 a.m. on a Saturday morning when most high school students would want to be in bed and sleeping in and enjoying some downtime. The smiles and the memories that it creates, it's fun to watch, to be up and watch. And so after spring break, that will start every Saturday morning. 9 a.m. is the tradition there, and then the team turns around and preps for a game. A lot of games will be coming on Saturday, especially starting this week on the road at Marble Falls. How does that work out? You guys added 3 games here later in the season, or later in the preseason time frame with a scrimmage and everything. How easy is it to find games to pick up on a Saturday like that to help get this team ready for the playoff run?
So this year it was remarkably easy to do. Had a couple of guys reach out to me. I was able to reach out to a couple of guys to be able to set some things up and to be able to find those quality opponents that we can go play on a Saturday. With the first tournament, with weather being terrible across the entire state of Texas, it allowed for that connection to happen a little bit easier. So this year, luckily, we were able to make it work fairly simply. And so it was a quality conflation of events.
It's very good. That's impressive.
That's a big word for a fireman.
Higher level vernacular.
So
and superfluous syntax.
When you're not doing baseball, obviously, family is big.
Yeah.
How's family? How's kids? Growing like weeds?
Yeah, they're doing great. Little girl has her birthday on Monday. So our St. Patty's girl turns 5 on Monday, and so excited to get to go celebrate her and do her party on Sunday, and then take her to whatever pizza thing she wants to do on Monday and get to go hang out with her Monday evening. And the little guy's growing like crazy too, and just getting to have them around the ballpark a little bit and getting to be bopping around with them. It's a lot of people don't recognize that I have my own kids, and I see everybody else's kids more than I get to see my own this time of year. And so nights like tonight, whenever I get to just watch them be around and get to hug them a little bit, is very, very cherished time.
Yeah. Shout out to Mrs. Vierra for holding the fort down. And,
amen.
Because without her, none of this is possible.
She's a single mom for the foreseeable future until we get to summer break. So until we finally dogpile and make it well worth it at the end.
Yes.
She's a soldier at the house.
I saw that happen one time. It was pretty cool.
It didn't suck.
No. She had a big smile that day, too. I don't know if it was because of the title or the season was over.
I think it was the latter.
But she enjoyed it nonetheless. She was there, so I'll give her credit
Kelly
for that.
and I were like, I'm crying. You're not crying. I'm crying.
Oh, I was bawling.
I think there were a lot of dust bunnies in the air that day.
Yeah, it was allergies.
The pickoff at
Allergies.
third. I still remember it well. This team moving forward, a big win against Conley. How do you keep this guys focused when you do have opponents that are struggling, that are have a less talent pool that Georgetown's blessed with? How do you keep these guys focused and not look forward to the next challenge?
Yeah.
You saw in this district Hendrickson and Pflugerville go at it, or Hendrickson and Elgin go at it. You saw Weiss and Eastview right off the bat go at it, two of the good teams in this district. But how do you keep these guys focused to stay prepared, knowing that in the coming weeks you do have an Eastview, you do have an Elgin, you do have a Weiss out there waiting?
Not look ahead.
Yeah, I think the main thing is kind of what Luke alluded to earlier. We're more worried about the root than we are the fruit right now. We're more worried about the cause than the effect, and we're trying to be as involved in the process of what we can do to achieve the goal. The message before the game yesterday was we're competing against a game of baseball. We're competing against ourselves and trying to be the best version of ourselves that we can possibly be to ultimately be able to achieve the goal at the end. And we reviewed that again today of, our goal isn't to go compete against Conley. Our goal is never to go compete against whoever's in the other dugout. Our goal is to constantly be the best version of ourselves that we can be and be focused on the present moment and be able to go win every at-bat and every pitch, which leads to winning every inning, which leads to being able to win a ball game. So I think when you frame it like that of staying locked into the process over trying to go compete against an opponent, I think it simplifies the process a little bit, takes a little bit of that pressure off. And allows the guys to be able to relax and, hey, I just got to go be the best version of myself that I can be, which will ultimately lead to success.
At the same time, you probably have to have a challenge of, okay, we just routed. We went 53-0.
Yeah.
You also have to say, guys, you stay focused. Don't get too overconfident.
Yeah.
We still – yeah.
Welcome to the game of baseball, right? This game will humble you in a hurry if you take it for granted. And so, I think we had a great day of practice today, and the guys were excited and energetic to be there and did a fantastic job of being with tons of energy and getting everything done that we could. So, I'm excited about getting to go on a road dog tomorrow and getting to hop on the yellow bus and head over to Conley High School and get after it on Friday night.
Heck right.
That's the upcoming schedule for Georgetown tomorrow night at Conley High School, 7 o'clock first pitch. They will take on the Conley Cougars in game number 2 of this 2-game series. Can't be there, join us live on the SHN Sports Network. First Responder Broadcasting will bring it all to you. 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch, and then we'll be on the road Saturday, 1 p.m. first pitch at Marble Falls. We'll bring it live to you here on the SHN Network, 12:45 pregame, 1 o'clock start over at Marble Falls.
Hold on, I need to give a timeout real quick. We got a guy named Cooper Thomas that is a dual sport athlete. I have a fantastic picture that I'm going to get to post in a little while. This dude hasn't practiced in track since 8th grade. Shows up today, comes in 4th overall in the long jump. Literally has not touched a long jump since 8th grade. And then goes out in the 4x1 as part of that, wins that. And then places in the area in the 100. It was really cool to watch our guys wanted to sprint over there to watch him get after today. So it was a pretty cool deal. By the way, I got a great picture I'm going to post of you later that I can't wait for everybody to see. Yeah. Bullpen in a track uniform. Good look.
Shout out to Cooper Thomas, one of the sophomores. We talk about that. This program is you run into senior class after senior class. The year that the Eagles won it all in 22, you had 14 seniors leave. Not many, only one sophomore on that team. He just graduated and now is at Oklahoma in Riley Leininger. Now, last night, to start the district season, you had 2 sophomores starting in the lineup, one behind the plate, one in center field. Talk about the explosion of youth and the talent in this program and how much that's building the competition at every level of Georgetown baseball.
Yeah, we're incredibly fortunate to be able to have the talent pool that we have of young guys that want to come be a part of Georgetown baseball and families that want to be a part of Georgetown baseball. And what's been really cool to watch is, is the growth of the game of Georgetown baseball through GYBA and the local teams. And of watching the little guys show up, and you get a credible place like this that's just continuing to pour into the baseball atmosphere with the wiffle ball field that's back here, and what that means to this community. It's a lot of fun, and we have a young group of guys from the freshman class is just joining us and learning the ropes and figuring out how we do things. The sophomore class that's obviously been dominating and doing a fantastic job with what they're doing. To the juniors and seniors that we have, and it's been a really cool time to watch our older guys build into those guys.
I thought it was neat. I told Wally, I said, how cool is that? He's asking a sophomore to bunt. Small. He obviously sees something in the sophomore, and places him out there. Hey, go bunt.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, our guys are multi-tooled athletes, and it's fun to watch them get to be the Swiss Army knife of baseball players.
Small ball's fun.
Yeah,
and that's we talk about that as we're sitting there. I come up to practice a couple of times watching techniques being worked on in the cage, the bunt drills being done to kill the buffalo, and working on that, and every player expected to be prepared to lay down a bunt. And it's fun to watch it get executed on the field. You talk about, we watched the other day in the rundown games and the pickoff and an early steal. Cooper Thomas doing a great job to give enough time for the runner to score from third last night, and then getting out of the pickle.
Yep.
But that's worked on. It's a precision effort that's practiced every day of practice, and then to see it executed in the game is fun to watch on this side, knowing the players see the fruits of their labor there in the practice field.
And his next at bat, it drew in the infield.
Yeah.
He didn't even have to work at that.
Georgetown plays tomorrow night, 7 o'clock at Conley High School. Come out and join us just down the street at North Lamar Boulevard in Austin. There between Howard and Palmer at Conley High School. If you can't join us, be live on the SHN Sports Network, 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch. Next week we'll be home on Tuesday night, and it's a big one. It'll be Eastview coming to town to play on Tuesday night. Thursday night will be at Eastview, so a big turnout needed for all these games to support these kids and all their hard work and the coaching staff and the time invested in these student athletes. Thanks for joining us tonight. For Coach Jordon Vierra, for Dave England, I'm Wally Harmon. Thanks for joining us here live at Camp Briteside. To Miss Strip Matter and your crew, thank you so much for hosting us and making this possible. And to the manager that brought us to the table so happily, Mike, we appreciate him as well. Thanks for joining us tonight. Remember, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, the Eagles play against the Conley Cougars. Thanks for joining us live at Camp Briteside. It doesn't cost you a dime.
Thanks,
to be kind. Have a good night, everybody.